as we're coming later into the summer and we have plenty of vegetables growing, we want to make sure that we have the opportunity to look at some great varieties that we have in sizes and save some of those seeds off those plants that are doing really well. So one way we could do it is we have a brandywine tomato, and we can take and save the seeds from that. We can take a paper plate and a paper towel, and we can scoop out from that fleshy area some of the seeds. So we can take the seeds and we can harvest them onto our paper plate and our paper towel. And we just want to rub it around and get those seeds out. This allows the flesh to come away from the seeds and they can dry out on our paper plate. And we can go through this and scoop out some more. This is a great way to gather the seeds and put them here. We know that it's going to take a little while for those to dry out. You're going to want to give them plenty of time to dry. Another way that we can harvest seeds from our tomato, we could take a container, and I'm going to move this to the side. We can take a container that's open. We've added a small amount of water to it. We might have a tomato that is a little overripe, and we can take and harvest the seeds by squishing our tomato and getting the pulp and flesh away from it. The pulp will come away, and that fleshy part of the tomato is coming away from it, and the seeds are floating at the bottom of the water. We can now harvest those seeds out and fish them out of there with a spoon, and then we can place them onto our paper towel and allow them to dry. This pulls away a little more of that fleshy tomato outside, and it allows time for you to let them dry. We want to save our seeds in an envelope, or we may even use a seal type jar or container that we can have. But what we want to do is we want to save those. We want to label it with what the variety is. We want to give them the name that we had. We want to let them know what cultivar we've harvested from and the date. We might think we know which one we saved, but this gives us, when we write it down and label everything correctly, it gives us plenty of information for later into the spring when we're starting to plant. We know that vegetables don't come on just at one time. We know that we have tomatoes ready. We have peppers that are ready to harvest. So this one is a large bell pepper that we have. It's gone from green to this beautiful red color. And so we want to keep the seeds to save some money from this pepper plant because it had some great peppers. We want to take our spoon and rake gently our pepper seeds onto our paper towel. We want to make sure that we have mature fruit that we're taking the seeds out of. And as you can see with these seeds, they're very viable. They're full round seeds, or even starting to turn a little brown, which means they're becoming more mature. And this is a great time to go ahead and harvest those seeds. And we also want to make sure that we're labeling, even though we might know the difference at the time we're harvesting. Later in spring, we might need to know which pepper it was. So we want to make sure we're labeling pepper, what variety we harvest from, and the date. And then put it in again into an envelope or a sealed container, because if we store them improperly and moisture gets in there, the seeds will not be viable. Another thing we want to think about is we want to make sure that we are also harvesting from heirloom varieties. So this is a brandywine. It's open pollinated. If it's a hybrid, what happens is those are not as well to go ahead and harvest from. Hybrids sometimes have seeds that are not viable. So if we're using an heirloom variety, we know that it's going to be true to the parents, and we're going to get the same great flavor and selection from those plants. So it's a great time of year, late summer, to have great plants to really take in what plants are being productive and to harvest those seeds to save money for next year's growing season. Enjoy!